What is happening? So, fam, it's Tarot Tuesday. You know what time it is, beach. All right. I'm getting saucy today. Like, I have been saucy the last couple days because I'm about to go on an adventure and I can feel all this good energy. I'm sending it all your way. We're about to do a different spread. If you've never seen this spread before, these are the spreads that I've been doing on Patreon. So, don't forget, if you want to see more tarot and get more guidance throughout your day, join the Ascension Temple on Patreon, become a member, and learn how to do the Violet Flame this month. This month is all about Aquarius energy. We just came out of the Aquarian Full Moon, and the Violet Flame is really powerful for the Aquarius age. I'm going to be teaching you how to do that, giving you the manual, and I'm also going to be teaching you how to upgrade it with Antojai, Alchemy, and Quantum Reiki. That's right. All right, so anyway, I want you guys to pick out a deck. It doesn't really matter what deck you're picking out, right? Like if you already picked the pink deck is already here. I laid them out. They're all been pre-shuffled already. That way the reading can go a little bit faster. Don't forget, if you're looking to accelerate your ascension to the finest and most magical degree possible with a shortcut because you're training with a pro, a guru, go ahead, check out the links below as well and set up a free clarity call to see if you're a good fit. Don't forget to give this video a like, subscribe, comment, and share it, obviously. Okay, so we're going to be doing a couple different spreads. One for YouTube, one for Patreon, and maybe an extra one for Patreon just because I'm feeling like real in the zone. So it doesn't matter which deck you picked. You might have felt drawn to like a specific one. You can also pick out these runes right here as well. We have the energy of rape with us today. It's this very good substance like from the Amazon that like helps you like really tap into these higher vibrations. It's called the Divine Union, and this is my sacred rape pipe, which is covered with like stones and stuff like that, basically telling us that right now we are marrying our divine union. Now I shuffled all these decks, and you're going to see that if you were at the Aquarius Full Moon meditation that we did yesterday, a lot of these cards are coming out again that I pulled out then when I was telling you about what the Aquarius Full Moon has to do. All right. So obviously we're going to start off with the pink deck, right? The Clow Yin deck. This is our divine feminine, our divine subconscious, which is obviously creating the conscious realm. The middle thing right here in the moon is going to be telling us what's most important. Right here is the full moon. This would have been yesterday when we went to that full moon meditation. And the first card that ends up telling us what to expect since that full moon opened up is abundance. The wood card comes in, and she came out yesterday and she was pretty much just like, yo, abundance is on the way, just chill. But the main thing is like, as we accept these levels of abundance, it's already coming, it's already here. It's not about like, hey, I have to go attain abundance. It's like, no, the abundance is already here. You just now have to like stay in flow with it to see like the really juiciness come out of it. Okay, so since the abundance was opened last night with the full moon, the Aquarius full moon, and we accepted like a lot of violet flame energy, Aquarian energy, you're also going to be noticing that there's like a lot of bat totem energy that's going to be coming out this month as well. So yesterday, actually, when I was doing that Aquarius full moon meditation, there was like 5 or 6 bats rotating around my room, like on the outside of my house. And like it was caught on camera and stuff like that. It was really cool. They were circling my room on the 2nd floor on my house. So it's like, okay, bat totem has to do with death, rebirth, understanding your soul. It's literally tied to moon magic. It's tied to understanding that you have higher perceptions of reality that you don't normally give credit to. That's going to be the whole tone of this next moon cycle, girl. Okay, so the abundance not only comes in the form of material possessions, it comes in the form of like understanding that your alchemy is the most valuable treasure. People literally die not knowing how to like bend reality or talk to the spirits or have a synchronistic magical moment, right? And you are now embarking on that path to understand that. That's the abundance. There's going to come abundance in downloads in form of magic synchronicities, and also abundance, physical abundance. But in order to stay in tune with that, you got to constantly be asking yourself, what is your most deepest truth? What truth is there that must be always held on to and must always be recognized? That truth, rather positive or negative, you might have just a positive truth or just a negative truth or both, okay? Doesn't matter which one it is. As long as you're aware of that energy, you'll be able to overcome and dash, which came up yesterday, dash over any obstacles that you've been creating for yourself, because you need to merge and marry your divine feminine with the divine masculine, another card that came out yesterday, and understand to stand silent in your own power. Allow the truths to just settle in, embrace those truths, let other people discover their own truths, and just have like this space just to like chill and be in that truth. If you exist in that truth, especially the biggest truth of all is learning how to trust yourself, because you're creating this reality. If you don't trust yourself, you don't trust reality, and that's why reality will give you a justification not to trust yourself, right? Or not to trust reality itself. So you need to spend time. It's a very contemplative energy of just merging the divine feminine with the divine masculine while accepting that abundance that's coming to us, the abundance that's coming, overcoming whatever. We have a lot of miracle energy, a lot of divine mother energy, harmony energy, balancing energy that's coming through. The miracle card came up yesterday as well through the full moon tarot reading, telling you again, this energy is going to be coasting. It's right here. Then the main thing that you have to understand, but while discovering the truths that they're talking about, to like overcome any limitations that you have when it comes to your divine feminine and masculine, and to embrace more of those miracles, is to clean your emotions. All right, you might have had emotions like you're afraid of traveling by yourself, or you've been feeling very lonely, or you're really angry at somebody, or there's a change that you have to make and you're afraid of making that change because you don't want to hurt someone's feeling, or you basically are afraid of what's going to come after the fact because it's a change that might affect you in some other way in your life. You need to know those truths and obey and listen, because essentially you are your own spirit guide. At this moment right now, you need to understand that when your divine feminine and masculine are unison, you are basically your own spirit guide, and you're talking to yourself through synchronicity and so much more. But you need to be okay with that energy and embrace it. Otherwise, how can you be what magical? Say what? The wave comes up talking strictly about magic. And then at the center here is the soul, the mirror card. Okay, so this whole next moon cycle until the next full moon is about you unlocking higher psychic powers, embracing the abundance and the miracles that are coming, understanding these deep truths that are going to clear out some emotional baggage. And while you're understanding these deep truths, you're going to jump over any blockages that are inside of those emotional layers that don't let your divine feminine and masculine be together, which will then let you open up a ton of more magic. All right, so that's the juice, okay, for everyone who picked out the pink deck. You got a lot of juicy stuff coming your way, a lot of good energy. Just sit with their own truth and be happy with that truth particularly. So now we're going to go over to the Isis deck, is what I'm really feeling. Oh yeah, they were already, oh, I'm just so used to like picking them up, but I don't want to pick them up, okay? So we ended up starting here. The wings of Isis are telling you, hey, you are uniting with your angelic self. So if you ended up picking up the Isis deck, she's basically telling you, hey, you are picking this energy out that's going to allow you to understand your angelic self. You're already connected to your angelic self. And since we started off talking about abundance, okay, even if you didn't pick out the pink deck, we're still talking about abundance. Your abundance is understanding that you have a higher self that can be honored, and then it can be like released into the cosmos and become the ultimate version of you. You are a goddess. You are a god. You just have to own up to that and want to be that person ultimately, okay? So then as you're stepping into your angelic self, you're going to be allowing pillars of light, like huge amounts of light into your reality. That's the one thing you got to surrender to. There are going to be some secrets, some darkness that comes up as your angelic self embraces more light, right? Some darkness is going to come up, but you need to understand that when those darknesses come up, it doesn't matter if it's in the term of an emotion, if it's in the term of, you know, an actual physical test in reality, you need to choose love instead of giving into fear, instead of giving into anger, instead of giving into self-limiting beliefs. It's really important for you to understand that when something triggers you, your shadow, as you embrace more light, you need to choose love. When your shadow triggers you and you're just like, yo, I'm just going to operate in love, your shadow says, oh, whoa, I'm dealing with a different person. Holy crap, I gotta change up my game, or I'm just gonna give up and move on. I'm just gonna choose to change, right? You're always balancing your yin and your yang. And we can see that coming into the next card, the Lunar Queen. The Lunar Queen, the full moon, the Lunar Queen, Isis. And she's talking about the twins. You need to learn how to love the things that you've done that are shitty to other people. First of all, nobody's the saint, not even me, okay? I I admit that. So being being conscious of the fact that you're positive and negative, and sometimes you're positive on your reality, but to another person's reality you're negative, and that's something you cannot avoid no matter what it is that you do with your life. If you've been a people pleaser, it's time for you to understand that the only reason why you've been a people pleaser is because you have not pleased yourself. You have not been able to say, hey, I'm balanced within myself to understand a greater reality of not surrendering too much power over to other people who don't deserve it. Now, that's all about divine feminine, divine masculine. Remember, your angelic self needs you to do this. Your angelic self needs more light into your physical body by forgiving and letting go of not only the shitty things that you've done to other people, but the shitty things that other people have done to you. Okay, so you need to be able to say, like, okay, so and so stole my car. Fine. Like, as shitty as that was, I'm going to choose love, and I'm going to choose to like move past it. And I'm going to choose to like let go of this karma, not hanging on to the fear, to the anger, to whatever, the resentment. I'm going to choose love. And that's going to set you free. And that's going to marry the divine feminine and divine masculine. The reason why I'm feeling you guys should really do this is because you guys who picked out Isis deck are more so on the masculine side of energy. And that's something that you really need to pay attention to. This is your divine destiny. So as long as you are paying attention to doing this while you're having your experience, that where other people on the pink deck ended up coming out with a silent sitting with their truth, you're going to be living your truth on that aspect. Some people need to understand their truth, and then from there they can take action. Some people need to live their truth, right? Some people, like, sometimes you try to like save someone from like grief or whatever, and they won't learn until they go through the experience, and they're like, damn, if I only would have listened to you when you originally told me not to do that, I could have saved myself a lot of like strife, right? And you're always like, well, you needed to experience that. So be aware of that. You're experiencing the change that needs to be happening. You're going to have your subconscious more so on the outside, okay? You practice doing a lot of astral traveling. On Patreon, we're going to be practicing a lot of like violet flame. So it doesn't matter what tier of the cards are being read, you guys are going to be experiencing the violet flame in a different way as it experiences itself through your personal journey. Now, the miracle card um, is lined up directly with the Isis knot. The Isis knot tells you to shake away any emotions that don't serve you anymore and just hold on to the good emotions, right? Everything has a positive and negative. For instance, I just use this as an example. You might have an ex, right? Some people like get to a point where they polarize their thoughts and they're like, oh, that person's so shitty. But did you only have shitty experiences with that person, or did you have positive experiences as well? That's not to say that you're going to reattach yourself to that person, but it's being able to switch the polarity of your thoughts and not choosing to just focus on the negative and letting all the negative go while still holding on to the positive, the things that you learned, the things that made you a better person, the things that made them a better person. And that goes in every aspect of your life: business, physical relationships like in romance, or your friendships when you guys have a real talk about some stuff. Like, it's all in there. This is part of that angelic self. Again, the Isis knot and the Temple of Black Obsidian are very unison in the sense of like the Temple of Black Obsidian tells you love all the negative things that are happening to you. Not in the say of not in the sense of saying yes, more negative stuff. More so just saying like I'm gonna depower the negative by choosing a higher vibration, which is love, right? And then letting go of all those emotions simultaneously while you hold on just to love, nothing more than love. If you do that, you will unlock more secrets into your understanding. This is the ancient power mysteries, which is dignified by sound of the Sinstrom, basically meaning that you have secret magic that's going to be unlocked from your angelic self if you manage to do this wholeheartedly, authentically, no strings attached. A lot of times people are like, oh, well, if I know that if I do this, I'm going to end up coming out with more power, more psychic ability, fine. I'm letting this go only because I'm going to get psychic abilities out of this. If you're doing that, you're not doing it from an authentic place. You're not doing it because you choose a higher vibration. Even though it sounds like, oh yeah, I'm doing this because I want more psychic abilities, you're pretty much doing it in the terms of materialism. You're trading one thing for another thing just because you're being materialistic. You need to do it from a level of, hey, I understand this doesn't serve me anymore. And yeah, I'm going to grow from this, but really I want to let go of this because I understand, and I'm going to listen and trust the universe and trust myself, and knowing that this is the best thing possible for everyone involved, just not just for myself. And I'm not just strictly doing this to get psychic abilities. I'm doing this to move into a new reality altogether and experience a higher sense of wisdom. That is the level of ascension that will bring you closer to 5D Earth and the polarity of love and light, okay? So finally, to tell you that this is all because you're going through an initiation, right? You have activated your spiritual self, and that portion of you is being activated in an initiation through the power of Ra. The power of Ra is sun, it is joy, it is warmth, it is happiness, it is ascension itself. So allow yourself to embrace that, because again, in the center, we have a portal of light that has opened up for you. Your angelic self is embracing a lot of pillar of light energy so you can overcome the crap that you've been holding on to with love, using the Aquarius energy to divinely marry your divine feminine and masculine, living your divine destiny, letting go of everything that doesn't serve you, opening up new powers, because this initiation is happening because there's a portal of light that has opened up just for you. All right? That's what's up. Okay? So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to read with the Native American deck, okay? That's real juicy. If you picked a Native American deck, the first card that comes out is 9. There are things that are changing. Your wish is coming. Since whatever you did yesterday, whatever you manifested for yesterday, it's for real to tell you you are indeed going to get that wish that you put out there. But you need to understand that with every wish, you got to switch out some stuff, you know? When you want to upgrade your phone, you got to let go of the old physical form of the phone, and you might take the files and move the files into a new phone, but you can't technically have the new phone and the old phone and make them both happen to be in the same, like, overlaps time space, if that makes sense. Lots of abundance is coming your way, lots of creation energy. All right, so allow yourself to really embrace that energy, especially if you look at how they're lining up. All right, abundance is coming. You're stepping, people, like, reading in different layers, right? Abundance is coming for everyone in general. For certain people, that's the sense of stepping into their angelic self. But for everyone in the Native American deck, it could be something totally different. You may have wanted something physical, maybe a relationship or something. Whatever it is that you put out there, it's coming. It's been created. Yesterday you created that, is coming. You need to focus on staying in alignment with that by being present in the moment. Vision Quest is telling you to constantly meditate on that. Do not let it go from the forefront of your mind's eye. You need to hold on to that to really bring that thing forward, okay? Hold on to that vision. And the number 7 right there is basically telling you that's what's going to bring you harmony. That's what's going to line you up. That's what's up. Don't get distracted with anything else that's coming up, especially because when we create something, okay, especially on the full moon, we create something and it's birthing itself, you know, into the manifest, and we're trying to stay in the present moment attached to that. There's going to come stuff like smoke signals, essentially, that are going to try to make you a scout in that direction, saying, hey, pay attention to me, stop meditating, stop holding on to like whatever it is that you're trying to hold on to. Hey, 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 hey. And that's only your shadow trying to tell you that it's afraid of this shift. So you need to make a dedication, and it's so hard. I dare you to do this. You're going to notice it's very difficult, but you have to be persistent. Most people can't go through a 40-day routine of meditation because they always end up giving into their subconscious that tells them, oh, you can do it tomorrow. Oh, wait, 15 more minutes. Oh, wait, hold on. Or it'll have somebody come over, or you get a phone call or something, and then you forget about it, and a couple days have gone by, and you're like, damn, I was supposed to be meditating for 40 days straight. One meditation a day. That is called willpower. This Aquarius full moon is testing you on your willpower, okay? The willpower is how bad do you want that manifest. You did all the energy work on the full moon. You really put that out there, and it's already coming to you. You already made that happen. But how bad do you want it? Are you going to let anything else in the matrix throw you away from getting that? Especially, you need to pay attention to the family that you have. A lot of things are going to be coming from the shadows. So your family is going to try to trigger you, Old people that you haven't talked to, like that used to be friends, are going to try to trigger you. Work is going to try to trigger you. The mattered world in the terms of community and family are going to trigger you. You need to be on top of your shit, okay? You cannot give into it. Why? That's part of the smoke signals that's going to try to throw off your intuition. If you can be the spiritualist or spiritually in tune, you will see change that is abundant for you with that number 5. And that change is going to allow you to see into deeper realms of the self, okay? So where on the pink deck, we had like people just have to be present with themselves, do soul reflection. And on the Isis deck, we see, that people have a portal of light and they're going to be starting to experience the shifts that they need to do based off of love. With this third deck of the Native Americans, you have to literally exude more willpower of just being present. Your thing is about being present. And if you feel like any of the messages for here, right, you need to be present because you need to love things that have been holding you back, that's your biggest obstacle, then do that. Pay attention. Like the layers are lining up for a reason to give you a bigger message. For some of you, all the cards layering or a certain level of cards layering are going to be the answer for you. Don't be overly ambitious, okay? And don't focus on matter while you're doing this experience, okay? Your thing should be staying in alignment with this, okay? This card comes upside down, which with 6, it says that it's tied to abundance. If you focus on matter, you're going to lose your track on what's going to be happening over here. Vision Quest is telling you to stay present in the moment. That means you already have it because you already created it and your wish is already coming, because this told you right here that the wish is coming. You just literally have to have the willpower to carry yourself through all the noise that's going to be happening from your shadow, from your environment, from your friends, while you're developing your spirituality and allowing change and choosing change above all else, staying in that harmony all the way across, not letting matter stop you from embracing the present moment. Understanding that there might be some tensions between home and work because of this, but there's going to be abundance coming through. All right. And then we have, for this deck, we have a 2 double card. We have this card and then we have this card. Right now, what you guys are going through is essentially you're rebalancing your karmic debt and your karmic balances in the world. The only way you can overcome that is by staying positive and by staying in tune with the universe. 2 has to do with positivity. 12 has to do with the 12th chakra, which has to do with universal consciousness. This Kuhana juggler has to do with understanding karma, rebalancing karma. And then the sun dance has to do with like, hey, connect to the universe. Allow your nature to be the universe, and you will see the universe bring out high levels of understanding in your reality, okay? But if you're not willing to do that, you're not going to see the shifts, right? You guys are going on a more like heavy path, but it's going to be easy. It's really just you staying, I'm not going to let anything throw me off of my creation. If you can literally do that, you're gravy. You don't have anything else to worry about. Now we're going to be diving into the shaman deck right here, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line them up first because I want to be able to read the cards. I'm still sort of learning these. I usually channel them, but it's very important for me to like share the exact message that comes through. And then we'll have another 2 that are here. They're going to be right there. I'm going to put that here. And I'm going to get my little notebook, okay? So let's get started, and give me like a second here just to get everything ready. All right, so on the full moon, something was birthed. It's basically the love card, the attracting force that links the visible world with the invisible world, union of different environments, common viewpoints, and falling in love, okay? You may have noticed that on the full moon, maybe you guys had a conversation with somebody and like things got real, rather positive or negative, but truths came out, or maybe you decided to make a decision to birth something new in your reality, change how you are. This energy right here is basically telling you, hey, It's happening. You already created, you opened that doorway. Relax, okay? It's a time for you to really, really recognize that as that energy starts coming through, you need to be calm in that energy and understand that that energy itself is going to nurture into something beautiful if you don't rush it. So then over here, we end up having the king of the clouds, which is you're someone of intelligence. You should control your enthusiasm, especially if you're mental with your emotions. And you need to have a rational, calculating mind to accept the authority of the cosmos when it's coming into your reality. So basically, you birthed something that you've been looking for a while. Rather, it's somebody who understands you, is at your level. Maybe it's the business opportunity you've been looking for. Maybe it's something else. You know, only you know what you've created on the full moon and what you've been asking for. But the universe is going to guide you directly to preserving that and bringing it to its full fruition. So you need to be open to understanding that if you fight that vibration of it trying to guide you to the highest level, you're going to have a harder time reaching that. This is a moment for you to surrender into your creation and surrender into the universe. The next card is the 10 of Stones, which is basically the healing of the earth, self-healing of the earth. Happiness is born of understanding that we are part of the whole. All that should be will be conclusions of a situation. If there's something in your life that's been kind of not right, don't worry. It's fixing itself. You probably already know that it's fixing itself, but you need to be okay with the fact that, like, hey, it's going to be done pretty soon. Have the patience, okay, for it to like go through, and also just be like at this level of understanding that, like, if you truly do surrender into the universe, you're surrendering into yourself, because inside of each one of us exists a universe, and externally exists that like vibration of saying, okay, you know, like we are co-creators. If I'm internalizing a peaceful state in my internal universe, the external universe is going to create that peaceful state for me. And as that happens, is not just focusing on that meditation, is actually understanding that as you heal yourself, you're healing everyone else, and the universe is going to start talking to you more through people, through dreams, through any other means. And it's your responsibility to follow that, because if you keep following that, that's what you originally birthed. I'm feeling a lot of people here were asking for something authentic. Whoever picked this shaman deck, you guys were asking for something truly authentic, and it came from a good place, and it is here. But you need to now surrender into trusting that. I feel like a lot of you have a problem trusting the creations that you make, and now more than ever, you have to trust, because if you trust, you basically tell the collective to trust, and then we heal Mother Earth even faster. Don't focus on healing the external, focus on healing the internal. Next, we have 3 of Bones, and it's a message from the spirits, okay? And it's basically telling you that there is a favorable circumstance that is going to come from you taking on like this methodology of living your life, and you're going to get outside help and unexpected support, okay? So again, it's just pretty much telling you you have to surrender to the universe. If you surrender to the universe, your life is going to be groovy. But a lot of people have a hard time surrendering into the universe because, you know, we're so involved in trying to be controllers of our universe. It's very divine masculine. Again, you guys are being asked to surrender, divine feminine, okay? The universe, the 12th chakra, is divine feminine. All right, you guys are really connected to the Akashic records with this spread, if you guys ended up picking this one. So very important that you pay attention to this. Next, we have the 9 of Drums. It's the key to a problem, a hidden everyday living situation, a subtle perception, and a good communication. So if you do this, you're going to find answers to your life. You're going to unlock some very powerful understandings that are secret to your alchemy, to your way of life. Ascension is a lifestyle. Alchemy is a lifestyle. Alchemy is not just when you're healing people or you're choosing to heal yourself. It is every breath, every step you take, every thought that you make. All right? You need to be able on that, you need to be on that vibration of understanding that every aspect of yourself that gets corrected, especially if you're practicing the violet flame during this month on Patreon, is correcting, okay, the collective consciousness. Next, we have the Seven of Drums. And the Seven of Drums is telling you, oh, sorry, Seven of Bones. I read it wrong. It's a spiritual struggle, questioning the nature of one's fears, psychological perceptions onto others, difficulties that are more imaginary than real. Your main issue here is going to be staying in tune with your reality, because sometimes when we're having this moment of trying to trust the universe and go on this path that's so different than what we're accustomed to, our shadow is going to try to fight us from embracing and even being able to fully comprehend what those messages and those pathways mean to us. So it's really, really, really important that you take the time to just say, okay, I'm gonna before I react, let me take a second back and let me see things, right? If somebody pissed me off or somebody triggered me, instead of reacting in that moment, I'm gonna take a second. I'm gonna step back for a minute and I'm gonna look at what's happening here. There's a lot of positive, beautiful energy, but in order for that energy to fully settle in, there has to be this really powerful transformation inside of yourself. And that transformation is always going to be testing. It's never going to be truly 100% easy. So over with the bubbles, for instance, we have the emotional aspects, right? And here we have the hunt of spirits. There's going to be obstacles that arise from one's sense of feeling inadequate, turbulations that you have to overcome, and a conflict that is very deeply rooted in your system. You are your own worst enemy, all right? You need to get the hell out of your way. You need to really focus on just being in tune with the universe, because one of the reasons why you have not been fully in tune with the universe is because you haven't chosen to fully trust yourself, and you haven't been choosing to allow yourself to accept your blessings. So during this time, you really need to understand that every day you should be waking up and saying, like, I open myself to miracles. I am abundant. I am blessings incarnate. Blessings happen to me all the time. And not only just say that to yourself, but feel it. Particularly feel it in your legs. Your legs are a really good indicator as to whether or not, like, you're holding on to something. And if your legs feel heavy, you're holding on to a lot of stuff. If you're feeling that your legs are light and loose, then you are fully trusting your path and you're walking in that vibrations towards a higher sense of self, okay? So then the next card is the bows card, and it's a seven of bows, and it's basically telling you astral travel, astute strategies, and sometimes can turn against you. Avoid conflict, indecision that leads to a loss of energy. Don't get into any beef with anybody. This card is telling you that you're going to have messed up perceptions of reality, so do not react instantaneously when shit happens, because you're reorganizing your universe. Right now, you in the middle of this reading, the universe is telling you, do you trust me, dog? Do you trust me? Do you want more happiness? Do you want more happiness? Trust me. Don't get into any beef with anybody. Spend some time understanding, like, these greater aspects of reality, and let go. Understand that this is not going to be easy this next full moon all the time, but it's going to be so worth it, and you're going to have so much magic, and you're going to see how things end up just coming to fruition for you because you chose to take that path. Especially with astral projection, this is so that you can step further away from the third reality, from the third dimension that is so limited, so you can embrace a higher sense of self. In the center, we have two master cards, and they're both bows, okay? So bows was basically telling you, trust the universe. Hey, I'm talking to you right now. Trust me. Trust me. And the final two cards happen to be the bows. This is the king of bows, okay? That was telling you, trust me. Trust me. And if we compare this one right here with the other cards, trust me, because abundance is coming, because there's a portal of light that's coming, and there's a deep truth that you need to understand right now. What is that deep truth exactly, universe? Please tell us to the shaman deck. The 10 of bows, because you're losing yourself. There are painful things that happen to oneself, but there are therapeutic detachments that are necessary so you can move past the aspects that have come to limit us. Problems that can no longer be ignored, conclusions of a cycle, and sometimes even hostility. So you need to understand that, like, there's a lot of death energy right now, and you're rebirthing at the same time. So if you feel a certain way towards somebody, you got to tell that person how you feel, positive and or negative. I definitely had that happen this week. I told someone like a certain kind of, I told several people like it was like this truth out of love. And then I also was able to have like this really positive experience with other people and being like, oh, like, wow, like that's really cool to know. That's really cool to like have that experience with you, right? And just embracing those changes. Like change does not always have to be negative. It's a polarity that you choose to create in your mind. Finally, we have the Knave of the Clouds, which is basically telling you that you need to understand how your vision of reality is distorted by your mental projections, intelligence, shyness, and overall vision. Like meditate on why things in your past have not always come out exactly the way you wanted them to come out, and allow yourself to just look at this greater truth of like, okay, like you're the creator of your own reality, and sometimes when things don't come out exactly as you planned them to, there's something inside of you that needed to be corrected, right? I learned that when I was dating a lot of narcissists. I learned that every time I manifested somebody for love out of loneliness, I would run into a narcissist. So I had to learn to stop doing that so I could grow myself into a better person who's not doing that anymore. So you have a special lesson that's right there inside of you that makes you lose yourself from having this greater power. And I'm sensing that it has to do with some sort of pain, or maybe it's a little bit of anger, and definitely not fully trusting yourself. You need to choose to trust yourself above all else. So then we're going to use this deck right here, my golden deck. I love gold decks. We're going to put it right here. This is another one I'm still trying to learn, so I'm going to be using the book as well for this one, but it's still going to be coherent. Oh, there's some juicy energy up in here. Say what, say what. So we're going to put this one right here. And we're going to put this one right here. Ooh, there's some good energy. If you picked out this card, this deck, you're about to find out. All right, so we have One of Pentacles. I'm not so traditional with the old format. So Ace of Pentacles on the full moon, okay? The Ace of Pentacles signifies the beginning of a fruitful period in which anything you undertake will aid your well-being. A lily-bordered path leads through an archway to the outer, wider world, symbolizing opportunity, including increased wealth. What? So again, your dream has come true. You just need to be okay with it, okay? The Chariot comes up next. A conquering hero stands in his chariot of victory, a great city behind him. Perhaps this city he has captured, or perhaps this is the city of his birth, awaiting his triumphant return. The mystical sphinx that draw his chariots are at rest for the moment, awaiting for his next command. Okay, so basically you are in this powerful state. Okay, now if we're comparing again, this is a very valuable state right here. You are in a powerful state. Trust the universe. The abundance is coming. You have a pathway of light coming into your reality, and you're discovering very deep truths into a greater sense of self. So it's really powerful energy for everybody this month. So crazy. Now we have the Six of Cups over here. Two children in a sheltered garden. Space, enjoy the fragrance of fresh flowers. They symbolize the safety and innocence of childhood when tender feelings are sheltered from the harsh world. You may need this sheltering now. So basically it's a time to like focus on your internal self. Definitely activate your inner child and activate that inner child in whatever sense you can, okay? It's really important to really tap into that energy. The next card over here is Four of Wands. Citizens of the city prepare for a festival to mark a time of great joy. Such as festivals and a vital time for the human spirit, they affirm that life is more than just day-to-day routine. When peace and harmony return after a time of trouble, pause to celebrate. It is important to create ceremonies that mark significant events. So you guys are in a really good vibration of energy. Like if you picked out this deck over here, like you pretty much have, woo, so much ascension energy. You're literally operating from spirit, okay? But you need to also understand that, like, if you're operating from spirit, you need to stay in spirit by honoring spirit. Like, one of the things that we struggle so hard to do is say, like, yeah, I am magical. Yeah, I am powerful. Yeah, I can make anything happen. Yeah, I am a beautiful person, And it's so powerful when you choose to, like, let go of any bullshit that makes you think that you're not being humble by embracing and honoring yourself and saying that about yourself, and definitely embrace it from other people. If you're getting love, let other people bask you with that love and be at a higher vibration overall. It's a very powerful moment for you to just create your special rituals. The next one is the Empress. The Empress is the embodiment of nature herself, the sustaining love of the earth and offering all of its bounty. She nurtures us as the mother that encourages her children to be all that they can be. She is a source of life, abundance, and sensual pleasures. The Empress is crowned with the stars, for her power is not just of earthly gifts, but in her feminine intuition and her vision. All right, very powerful. You're supposed to be literally just like basking in all that juicy spirit energy that you have manifested, okay? Whatever it is that you wanted, if it was money or whatever, hey, you need to fall into that vibration, dog. All right, and just feel it, because you are a goddess, you are a god. You need to be okay with that. You need to just be like, whoa, it's just time to chill. All right. I've been quantum jumping in some really powerful ways, in the ways that, like, all right, if I wake up in the middle of the night, I shared this on the full moon reading. If I wake up in the middle of the night, then okay, like, in that quick second that I'm awake, hey, everything's gravy. Hey, I am surrounded by love. Hey, I love my life, and falling back to sleep. And that's what I've been doing to feel the vibe of the Empress. The Empress is one of the cards that comes out for me when I'm in that, like, yes, I'm powerful mood. Okay? So good. So powerful. The next one is going to be the Knight of Wands. So, the Knight of Wands is bold and bound for glory. This knight may rush in where angels fear to tread. He is more susceptible to failure than those who never take a chance, and yet fortune seems to follow him and keep him from harm. He will champion any righteous cause and pursue any path that promises adventure. Hey, do not have any fear, because you always come out on top, right? Because what? You're a goddess. What? You a god. That's right. You need to embrace the fact that you are so fucking powerful, all right? And embrace your inner child. Stand in that power and let the blessings rain, because it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Hey. So let's see here. We have the Ace of Cups, and the Ace of Cups signifies that which is dearest to your heart. It is the grail and the symbol of the soul's deepest joy. The dove of communion and the water lilies of peace symbolize the integration of emotion with a vision of life purpose. All right. Keep holding on to the embodiment and of the energy of having what you already created on that full moon, knowing that it's already yours and it's coming. Like, legit, hold on to whatever the hell you're holding on to right here. Like, it's hard to explain whatever it is that you got, but you better stay right there, okay? You don't want to lower your vibration. If you can get any higher than this, keep going. But this right here is so juicy. You got this. You got so many blessings. Oh my God. The last card is, say what, the Magician. The Magician is so pretty. I'm just going to hold this shit right here. Oh my God, look at this. He is so sexy. He's got the infinity all up on his crown chakra, his eighth chakra. He's like, what? Say what? I am the Magician. So, the Magician. The Magician calls upon the energy of the universe to bring desires into manifestation. Whenever he imagines Whatever he imagines can and will come to pass. The wand in his right hand is a conduit for universal energy, and his other hand points to the earth, grounding the energy in reality. As above, so below, divine and earthly creative forces are in perfect union. What? And we started off with divine union on the rape that was honoring us. And we've been talking like divine union right here. The twins are over here, right? We're starting to see how the cards are pretty much talking about the same message, a different perception for each person, because we're living on different versions of Earth inside of our own internal universes. As crazy as that sounds, it is straight up the truth. So then here, the final two cards for you guys. The King of Pentacles. The king has the tenacity of a bull combined with the shrewd practicality. He sees the long view and builds for the future. For his primary purpose is stability. When he agrees to help you, success is assured. This may include a subtle gift or a loan that brings a long held dream into reality. What? So good. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune with no beginning and no end. The Wheel of Fortune symbolizes the eternal cycles of fate, the stages of life, the seasons of the year, the phases of the moon. What? The phases of the moon. Everything in our human experience is a constant state of change. Four elementals begin to represent lessons that life offers along the way. The Sphinx is a reminder that existence itself is the greatest cosmic riddle. All right. Powerful, powerful energies right there. You guys are manifesting hardcore in this vibration here, okay? And it's just pretty much staying in that power and navigating and getting comfortable to that really powerful level of energy that you're manifesting. Because sometimes people hit like these peaks of breaking new ground in their energy, but they're not necessarily always super focused on, making that happen as a regular state of their being. So now, if you pick the runes, you need to understand that there's something that you need to focus internally. If you pick the runes, the biggest lesson is that you have to do some shadow work still internally, because there's something inside of you that's tied to other people, like relationships, that is slightly holding you back. Don't worry, just because you started off having to do some work on some internal light and understanding that like there's a shadow that's deep down inside that needs to be conquered, that's tied to relationships, maybe a friend, a family member, a relationship with yourself. You're still protected during the moon cycle. So don't freak out. You're protected, but you're not going to be having the same kind of ride as everybody else. But still, don't worry. Positivity is going to be coming your way. So you're still gravy. You're still gravy. Just focus on your shadow. It's not about gaining material things or manifesting right now, particularly. It's more so being, again, present with the moment while working on your shadow. You're being given an opportunity to change, and you need to focus on that change, because there's going to come a harvest pretty soon. And when that harvest comes, you need to be ready for it. That karmic harvest that's going to be presenting itself in just a little bit, which is aligned with the miracle card as well, is going to allow you to like make a major shift in your life. You cannot make that major shift in your life if you don't fix what you opened the gate with. Whatever you ask for is coming by the next full moon cycle. It's coming on the next full moon cycle. But in order for that to come into your reality, you need to work on letting go and changing the relationships you have with yourself and the relationship you have with reality, and the darkness that you're holding against other people in other aspects of your life. And that's going to be really hard for you. It's going to be probably one of the hardest things that you've had to do so far. But again, you're your own worst enemy. You're the only person that's going to be in your own way. You can do this. If you're not afraid of yourself, you can definitely do it. And those are issues that need to come out because they're destructive in your system. They're what collapse your reality over and over and over again. So if you're dealing with alchemy and you're kind of just like, oh, like how do I embrace a higher sense of self? Then now you know exactly what is going on, okay? So you need to be able to say, all right, I'm going to choose to change no matter how difficult it is, because my manifestation is coming and it's not going to wait for me. All right, so I need to choose to be happy. I know I'm protected. I'm going to make changes. If you do that, you're going to open up levels of light into your reality, and those levels of light are going to bring in that much needed change, the fortune that you have been seeking for such a long time. All right, so that has been the reading for the full moon. I wanted to share this Aquarius energy full moon. The cards wanted to talk to you about this. So if you picked out the runes on the last step, you got some work to do. You're the only ones that I would say are falling a little bit behind the Aquarius energy because you're caught up on some BS that no longer matters. Listen to all the other cards and their adventures and what other people are going to be experiencing. Don't you want to be there? You can be there. You can be there right now, but it's up to you. It's your ascension. Ain't nobody else going to do the work for you. Ain't nobody else going to do the work for you. All right? I'm sending you all my love. I'll see you in our next episode. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, share, repost this on your Facebook, share it with your friends, put it on your TikTok, send it on Instagram, do whatever. Give this a like. And if you're looking for one-on-one coaching to become the ultimate maximum healer so you can change the world, so you can embrace every psychic power that you have, check out the link in the description below so you can set up a free clarity call so we can get that started. All right, I'll be catching you soon. The next reading is going to be on Patreon for a couple other new decks that are going to share a lot more cosmic energy. This was just the moon energy that we were reading. Now we're going to be reading the rest of the cosmos. See you later.